Welcome to Unstoppable Real Estate Investing Wealth. My name is Billy Alvaro, aka the Unstoppable BA, former billion-dollar mortgage banker, gone bankrupt, turned professional real estate investor. Where each week you'll learn the tools, strategies, systems, and secrets myself and other highly successful real estate investing entrepreneurs use to start, grow, and scale their businesses, creating massive profits, and how you can too. And we'll teach you how to put those profits to work so you no longer have to. Get ready to finally experience financial freedom and generational wealth. Now let's get started. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the episode of Unstoppable REI Wealth. My name is Billy Alvaro, the Unstoppable BA. And if you want to achieve unstoppable success in life, unstoppable wealth, have a fat ass bank account, cash coming in every single month, shit ton of assets, and write-ups on your bottom line, hit me up. You can invest with Billy. Go to billyalvaro.com. If you're a wholesaler, fix and flipper, and you want to JV anywhere to make deals happen, you want us to help you get on the phone and sell your leads and convert them. My team will do that. You have leads you can't convert, we'll help you do it. You have problem properties, problems like they have this hairy shit on title, you don't know how to handle it, stuff that you've never seen. We specialize in problem properties. It's like one of our specialties. We convert leads and deals over those that have a harder time doing it. We just have a knack for making it happen. And I think it's part because, I had a mortgage company for years. I owned the title company. I know just about every friggin' way to make something happen, every legal loophole to get deals done like this. And so if you're looking to JV, if you want to partner with us on deals, you have wholesale deals in New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, you want to wholesale, even if you have a fix and flip, we can bring in the money. We can renovate the deal. We can do things that others can't because we are a full-fledged one-stop real estate investing company. This year, goal is $6 million gross, little about $3 million net. We're on track to hit it. We're going to hit 5. We're pushing for the 6. And we're doing that. It's not just me. It's my freaking team. I have a team of just A+ players. They execute. They believe in the vision, execution, mindset. All that is what we're going to be talking about in today's show. So today's going to be a solo cast, part 2 of a 2-part series. Part 1, we were speaking about what separates those that succeed versus those that don't in life, mainly in business, right? We could separate personal life, business life. This show is really about the business aspects of real estate investing. And on the first 6, we went over, not in any specific order, but we went over the first one being desire. You have to have a burning desire to in what you want to achieve on the daily. You have to believe and have a burning desire to get yourself out of bed and start making shit happen. You have to have belief. You have to have belief and faith that you can do it. That's number 2. We have to have positive self-talk in your head. I can't stress how important this is because I went negative years back when I lost my mortgage company and my mind for just a period of time went to complete garbage and shit. And I believed that I was not worthy enough, that I could not do things, that everything I touched turned to crap before everything I touched turned to gold. So belief, self-talk, self-talk that you have, auto-suggestion, affirmations, it is freaking key to getting yourself to the next level. Number 4 is becoming a specialist. We spoke about that in part 1. Go back and listen. Be a specialist, not a generalist, if you want to be an ultimate success in your life. Number 5, visualize success. Visualization. Again, this is another key that I've mastered, and I could visualize myself in just about anything I want to do, have, and become. I see it in my head first. Once I see it in my head and I know exactly what it is, I'm able to actually execute on that, whether it's building a sick house or developing a business or getting your body into shape or whatever it may be. Everything first starts off in your mind. You have to understand that, realize that, believe that, because it is 100% truth. I'm going to go through what all these principles came from. Number 6 that we spoke about in part 1 was taking MFA, massive fucking action, getting what you want to do. I also spoke about and said that sometimes it's almost impossible to take MFA because you might be in a world of shit. You might be going through some really trying times. You might have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And because of that, getting up and trying to take MFA on a daily basis just isn't going to happen. So you have to start off with small, consistent wins. Small, consistent win could just be getting out of bed and taking a friggin' shower. It could be making one phone call. Small things that you do consistently will, over time, give you momentum. And over time, you'll be able to then propel and excel and create and take massive fucking action, MFA. So today we're going to talk about number 7. Number 7 are those that succeed ultimately versus those that don't. The 7th habit, the 7th principle is gathering information and then executing. It's really making decisions. You have to have an ability to make a decision quickly based on the information at hand. I can't tell you and stress enough how indecisiveness will kill your business, will kill your momentum, will kill a lot of things. You have to be decisive in what you're doing. Gather enough information. You can't be one of those people that is analysis paralysis that constantly goes through and looks at every freaking angle, because as you're doing that and you're considering everything inside your head over a week's time frame with something that should take you a few freaking minutes, myself and other people are going to be out there executing. You're going to lose opportunity. Now, some on the flip side can say, well, I'm being cautious. I'm not saying don't be cautious. I'm not saying do things off the fucking seat of your pants, just flying to flip something out there and try to make it happen. But you have to gather information and then execute, make a decision. You can't sit back and be indecisive and constantly ponder and go back and forth. It's going to frustrate you. You're never going to be able to get to the level of success you want to get to. Indecisiveness is, in my view, not something you ever want to do, you ever want to be, you ever want to sit on. You have to make things happen by being decisive, getting the information, executing, and making a decision. If not, telling you, man, you're going to get frustrated, and the people around you are going to get frustrated. I've had people in my life that couldn't make a decision, and after a short amount of time frame, I'm like, look, things have to change, or this thing has to go separate ways and part ways, because I can't operate at a level where it takes us a week to make a decision on small little stupid things. And it shouldn't get in your way either. Be decisive, gather information, be informed, but then make a decision. And here's the key. If you fuck up, if you make the wrong decision, if something was not right, you can change it on a dime. Don't change it too quick, because sometimes it takes a little bit of time to make things happen. So don't be so quick to start changing direction. Once you have enough information, you see that the information's giving you the data that you need, then you make the change. But don't just change for the argument's sake of change because you're basing it out of fear. That's going to derail you as well. So that's it. Number 7 was decision making. Gather and then execute. Number 8 is persistence. Never give up. Even when you're down and out, even when you feel like you've been kicked in the balls and you're down on your knees and you're praying to God for this stuff to pass you, when you're at your lowest point, you can never give up. You have to get up again. I don't know what that saying is about Rocky. It's not how many times you get hits, but how many times you get back up. It's true. Like, you have to continuously get up. And I can only speak to what happened in my own personal life on how many times I got knocked down. And the last one, which was the biggie in 2008, when I lost everything, like, I was down for a long time, but I wasn't out. And so you need to be able to pick yourself up, and you need to have the mindset of persistence, even when things seem as if it's never going to end, or you're never going to get out of something, or you don't know how you're going to get out of it. You need to be persistent. And if you couple all these together, persistence with burning desire, with belief in yourself, with the self-talk, all these kind of come together. Each one can stand on its own, but together you can become literally unstoppable in whatever it is you want to do in life. And the persistence piece, never giving up, is so critical, because you literally, that other book, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like where you're 2 foot away from the gold. If you give up, you don't know what the hell is going to happen that next day or that next move. So regardless of how many times you fail, regardless of how dark it may seem, what you're going through, or how troublesome and just how overwhelming shit is, I could tell you that if you're persistent, if you never give up, if you keep pushing forward, eventually, if you see it, if you have right self-talk, if you have the burning desire, all these ifs coupled together, I'm telling you wholeheartedly with 100% certainty that whatever it is you want to get in life, whatever it is you want to do, have it become, you will do it in time. You just need to be persistent in what you're doing. All right. Number 9. Love this one. Number 9. You can't do this stuff alone. And I'm not talking about right now building a team. I'm talking about the mastermind process. I can't stress enough. Let me take a glass of water here. I can't stress enough how important it is to be around like-minded individuals in whatever you want to call it, a networking group, a mastermind, a coaching program. You need to invest in yourself, and you need to get around people. You need to get around people who are going to give you value, as much value as you're going to give them. You need to create a mini mastermind. You need to get around 4, 5, 10 people. You need to be in a big group. You need to get with people who are going to be able to help you get to the next level. And in return, you have to be able to offer something back as well, whatever that something may be. But the power of the mastermind, I've been going to seminars since I've been 20 years old, 19 years old. I've been joining masterminds and networking groups since I was 24, 25 years old. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that with every group I go into, every time I level up, every time I'm putting out 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $60,000 to some of these groups, that the value I get out is worth 10 times or more than the money that it cost me to get in. So don't be afraid. And if you're starting off saying, well, it's easy for you to say, Billy, you'd have the money to invest. I didn't at one time. I didn't. So it was going and finding my tribe just by going through these networking groups and finding out who these people, who was positive, who was on the path to success. And it's just resonating and kind of like mixing it up with those people. You don't have to spend, if you don't have the money, $10,000 a year in the beginning, or $20,000 or $60,000. You can do this for free. You can get people like-minded together that are all going for a common cause, or all going for different causes, different segments of real estate or different businesses altogether, but they all have a burning desire. They all have belief. They all have positive self-talk. They're all trying to be a specialist. You see what I'm saying? All these principles, they all have similarities. The people's personalities are similar. They may be completely different individual people, but they have similar beliefs. You start networking with people like that, bring them into your circle, and I'm telling you, the magic is going to happen. You're going to be able to get yourself to the next level. Remember, it's not only about taking, it's about giving. You have to give first and then take, and then take it back in. The power of the mastermind cannot be underscored. It is a key for the success of my life and multiple hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who have been successful way before us. I'm guaranteeing you that if you interview them and you ask them, the mastermind is going to be in their principles and in one of their things for those that succeed versus those that don't. What separates? This is one of the principles. The next thing, number 10 is, and this is huge, man, this is huge, because this is where, this is it. I had to do a self-assessment. Other people had to assess me, and this was the one that kept on popping up across the board. Everybody that assessed me, what attribute, what is it that separates you, what separates people that succeed versus those that don't, is they problem solve at such a high level. They know how to get things done. They know how to identify problems, but more importantly, they know how to solve those problems quickly. They know how to, and if it's not them solving it, they're a freaking resourceful person that could go out and find the people, find the technology, the tools in order to problem solve. Problem solving and creative thinking, because in order to solve a problem, you have to have creative thinking, right? You have to think outside the box. You have to be creative with the way your mind operates in order to get things done. So number 10 on this list, by all means, is problem solving. Every time something pops up, like now, I have my meetings in the office, and because we're 100% virtual, we'll never have an office again. Wednesday is our operations meeting. It's my personal assistant meeting. It's my finance meeting. It's my dispo meeting, and it's my operations meeting. So I'm in this meeting for 4 hours. And honestly, I'm not in there for 4 hours listening to every single thing. I'm there really, the main part, to solve problems. Something pops up, I very quickly identify what it is, how to solve it. Now, I identify what it is. I ask the team, how would they solve it? I'm training them to become high-level problem solvers. All these guys and girls in the office that are thinking, how do I solve a problem? And then they'll come to me with the bigger and bigger problems. So I'm able to delegate even more. So look, if you want to be successful, if you look at those that are successful and separate those that are not, I'm guaranteeing you this is going to be on the list. Problem solving and creative thinking. Man, it goes a long way. Man, you have to be able to think outside the box. Man, you have to be able to solve problems. Man, you have to be resourceful. Like all this comes together. And you're going to see, I'm going to put a nice bow on this whole thing, all these principles at the end, and have you understand where they came from. And it's beliefs that I've had innately, and you'll see, I'll tie it together at the end. All right, that was number 10. Number 11 is huge, right? We all have intuition. We all have that feel. You have to trust your gut. Sometimes you're going through certain things, whether it's taking on a partner or doing a joint venture with somebody or investing in a deal or doing a new marketing campaign, and everything looks good. Everything on the outside looks good and seems as if it's good, but the gut, inside here, something's just off. Not saying to have your gut lead you to be afraid. I'm saying your gut should lead you to actually dig in a little more. And I'm not saying your gut should lead you to be indecisive, to not make a decision. I'm saying you should listen to your gut. You have intuition. We all have it. When that little voice inside your head, not the negative voice that's trying to limit you, but that little voice, that little feeling in your gut that's like, check this out. Something might not be right here. Just check it out. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful. Don't run. Don't kill the idea. It just means that, hey, man, trust your gut. Peel back that onion a couple of layers deeper to see exactly what the fuck is going on, because either your gut's going to be right or it's just, hey, this is just something that, just keep an eye on it. Maybe it's not something that's going to go sideways, but maybe it's just like, hey, keep an eye. I've had that when I've interviewed people for positions, and I'm thinking like everything looked good. Their resume was good. They interviewed people was good, and something inside was just like, I don't know, man. I couldn't figure it out. So I left that gut thing and I made sure I remembered it, still brought them in. And then eventually over time, what would happen? You start to see what that gut feel was. And then all of a sudden somebody's taking money out the back door. Something's going on. You're like, fuck, I had that gut feel. So trust your gut. I can't emphasize it enough, but again, I don't want it to derail you. I don't want you to become indecisive. I don't want you to have self-doubt. I want you to listen to your gut, as many others have, and just understand it and just go in a little bit deeper. And then if you still don't find anything, make sure that's on your radar. Just keep your finger on the pulse for those things that you think just might not be right. And last but not least, and there was a 13th one, I'm not going to go over it. It's about sex, and I don't feel like talking about it on here, but it's part of the book that I took this from. The last one is becoming a master of your mind, right? We have the mastermind, but all these, if you take these all together, in essence, what this is, it's becoming a master of your own mind. It's having the right mindset with everything. And God, it's so easy to sit here, for anybody to sit here and say, you have to have the right mindset. Mindset's what it is. The words and the actions and the feel and what you do is so much, they have to be in alignment. Mindset is not a thing. It is the absolute thing. It is the thing that separates us from every other animal out there. You have to have the right mindset for everything. And all this basically ties it up into a nice bow. Desire, this burning desire. Yeah, it's a burning desire, but it's also tied to your mind. Your belief system, mind. Self-talk, mind. Becoming a specialist, think about it. It's your mindset. You have to have the right mindset. Visualization, mindset. All this, everything you want to do in life first starts as a thought. And if your thoughts are going sideways, if your self-talk is not something that's positive and bringing you up, if your self-talk is negative, I can tell you that you're going to have a struggle. If you ever want to figure out what's happening, the effects in your life, whatever it may be, your relationships, your business, it's an effect. There's something happening in the outside world. Mindset, think about the outside world is where the effects are showing you what's going on. If you want to know what's going on the world on the outside, you first have to go to the world on the inside, your mind. And when you go to the world within and you start to understand what you're thinking, how you're operating inside, that's the direct cause for what's going on the outside of your world. Inside world, the world within, is the cause. The effect is the shit that's happening on the outside, positive and or negative. This is powerful, powerful, powerful shit. I can't emphasize it enough. Not going to happen overnight, guys. You have to live these principles. You have to believe these principles. You need to execute on them on the daily. I can tell you still, every single morning, I have my routine. It's crazy. It's up to 90 minutes in some cases of just me going in with the meditation, with the visualization, with the reading, with so many different pieces that I do between my mind, my body, and my spirit. And I do this because I personally need it. It sets my day. It sets the tone. It gets my brainwave on the right level. And I just execute like a beast. And you can too. So mindset, becoming a master of the mind and understanding about the world within your mindset, everything that's happening, the cause is inside here. The effects is what you're seeing on the outside. So if you're unhappy in your business, if you're not making enough money in your life, if your business is hurting right now, if your relationships are hurting, if your personal relationships are hurting, if your relationship with your spouse is in disarray, if you don't have a good relationship with your kids, if all these ifs, positive and or negative, the effects in the outside, I can tell you there's a direct correlation to the world within and what's going on inside your head. Guaranteed. All right. And so I told you what we were going to do here at the end of this was explain to you, put a nice bow on this, where this stuff came from. So all these principles, with the exception of one, came from the book Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And so this was one of the books that I read as a young guy. I think it was like, I was in my early 20s, and it literally set my world on fire. Once I read this book, I then read it again, and then I studied it and I underlined it and scored it and took notes and bought a workbook. And like I've indoctrinated this into my being because it works. And you know, it's a book that to me, it's the Bible of all business. If you want to become successful and you want to get to the next level, you have to do what other people have done before you. Follow the path. Don't recreate the wheel. Just success creates success. Follow those that have done it. A lot of guys I know, girls I know, and don't know that I respect in the industry and in other industries, they all pointed to this book years back. And so is it the only book? Absolutely not. But if you treat this thing like a Bible and you read it and believe in it in your heart and in your head, and you just study the shit out of it, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill will change your life and put you onto a new path if you allow it. And so it's one of the books I highly recommend. And these principles basically came from it. I've changed some of the wording around, but for the most case, this is right from him. It's his book. It's his words. It's what he studied, the most successful people in the world. See that thing right back there? That's John D. Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller, one of the most successful billionaires in the world, the oil guy. And on my other wall, the steel magnate. And so there's so many different people that he's interviewed in that book to get himself to understand what separates those that succeed versus those that don't. And the name of the book says it all: Think and Grow Rich. Everything inside his principles has to do with mindset and thinking. And so just think about that and then sleep on it and then go fucking MFA. Take massive fucking action. Read that book, study it, and take yourself to the next level. All right, guys. Hope you friggin' enjoyed part 2 of what separates those that succeed versus those that don't. If you want to learn, partner, invest with Billy Alvaro, hit me up at billyalvaro.com. Listen, we have guys and girls that are putting a lot of their money to work, fix and flip in rental properties and syndicated deals on the with apartments, small apartment buildings, larger apartment buildings. Look me up. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. More importantly, just go to billyalvaro.com. If you want to put your money to work, I have a guide, 50-page guide, 6 videos. You can go to Low Risk Max Returns, download it. That specifically talks about the rental portfolio, single family, and it also talks about the fix and flip, how you can put your money to work, earn between 8 and 10% consistent, no stress, no struggle. You put your money to work. If you want to get involved with larger deals, a little bit more riskier, but higher returns, you can also get involved with the syndications that we're doing. We're buying apartment buildings, we're syndicating, we're doing small community builds, like really cool stuff. If you're a wholesaler, if you're a rehabber, you want to start to fix and flip and you want to joint venture with us, go to billyalvaro.com. Anyway, guys, all the tools that we use, most of them that we use that we spoke about on this podcast are at billyalvaro.com. Also, Billy Secrets. Check us out. Give us a couple of thumbs up on the podcast. And if you enjoyed this, please like it, share it, comment, do whatever you have to do. Get the word out, man. Everything that you want to do in life starts in here. You have to have the right mindset in order to succeed. I will see you guys in the next one.